Welcome! I'm Henry Snotson, and you are watching the 4th episode of the 9th season of the Snot League. In this round, I will be accompanied by Joseph Moranian, our undefeated champion and legends on his own. Welcome!
Hello there. A champion and a legend. Music to my ears.
You have a great winning streak that has continued from Season 8. How do you compare Aromai to Mordheim Wanderers? I'm curious which of those teams is better in your eyes.
To match the two is like comparing the steadfastness of a stone to the fluidity of water. The Wanderers were a well-oiled, heavily armored machine, and the Aromai are wild and unpredictable. But if the two teams would face each other on the pitch, I would bet on the reigning champions.
This season is full of death and destruction. The dead players' bodies are piling in biggest numbers ever, and our gravedigger, that poor lads have overworked. How do you see this season so far?
Must be a great spectacle for the fans, and a massive headache for the franchise owners.
Okay, and now I hope you are ready for the Round 4 recap.
Always.
Let's go! We start with Canite Assassins versus Dirty Grotty Hijinks. In this match, Horn has nothing to lose, except for even more elves. How do you rate his coaching style?
Come on, go there and die!
Well, exhausting your players to this extent may give you some temporary results, but in the long run, I see Horn's approach to backfire in the most painful way.
Despite that, today they were very effective, with all that stabbing and chainsawing.
A pointy elven ear would be effective to pierce a nobbler. Those miserable things hurt themselves stepping on rocks. Of course, trained assassins would do well against them.
A little bit of overkill here, especially when they chainsaw the ogre. That alone turns a tide drastically. But you know this is the first match when Horn doesn't lose a single elf from his base squad? He seems a little disappointed.
Why am I not surprised?
Next match! For both Slavers of Garnorks and Black Abyss Kraken crew, this match was crucial for their chances of survival. And looks like they are still in play. The Kraken crew have very big troubles with strong players, such as Troll and Black Orcs, and have to rely on Captain Varkas to make any holes in the Slavers' defense. Yes, they got through, but they were forced to score early. How do you rate that?
Better to score early than not scoring at all. After all, the Black Orcs aren't the ones to create strong counter-attacking chances, so fair played by the Kraken crew.
Being outnumbered, the pirates were making some wonderful plays just to save their skin. But all that wonders were outshined by the sure blundiness of other failed catches, dodges, and other slips. Maybe playing on a ship is not the best idea.
But it saves travel costs. Even your away games aren't far enough from home.
I never think of this that way. Nevertheless, now it's your turn. Many were expecting that Carrot Cracker Packers will stop your winning streak, especially that you haven't grown another Treeman yet. How do you manage to prepare your team for this match?
Oh, I'm no one-trick pony. Some people believe that a team can only play in a certain way, with certain players and with certain tactics. Your average Blood Bowl viewer may lack an expertise to see past the beaten tracks, but I always have enough workarounds for any possible scenario, including the loss of a key road-blocking player.
But I see you find a remedy for that in the Mighty Zug. Dwarves press your team hard, and Fairy have to score fast. The Packers were steamrolling in the group. Did the prospect of playing with this team scare you?
Slightly concerned, yes. But scared is a word too strong for this instance.
That ball steal was perfect! The Shorties tried to stop Reese Joycista, but in vain. The Packers are the 12 teams you beat in a row. Your next opponent will be very similar. Do you have some plans against them?
Next game looks like a perfect opportunity to get a mirroring perspective of our squad. While, as you mentioned, there is a similar approach in having naiads as building blocks of the team, me and the coach of the Moonflowers created different environments around them. I look forward to see who can execute their vision better.
Can't wait to see it.
Time for a proper winter treat. Savage Wogmen versus Gnadwell Warpweed Rats, played in a bloody snowstorm. Absolute tragedy, lads. They had to cover up those glorious curves with furs. All that perfect green skin hidden away. My heart's breaking. All that extra layers slowed our beauties down a tad. But even wrapped up like presents, they still look drop-dead gorgeous, don't they?
I consider myself a Blood Bowl coach, not a fashion expert. But if this is your way of saying the Savage War men play beautiful Blood Bowl, then I have to agree with you.
Misha was right to respect Clan Moore's muscle, and blimey, the rats carved through us like a hot knife through butter. Heavy losses, blood on the snow. But then, Nazan slips at the worst possible moment. The ball pops loose, and our magnificent lasses pounce. One lightning counter, and we're level. That blizzard kept raging, rats couldn't see their own tails, and the game ended in a draw. Technically a point each, but let's be honest. When you get to watch those snow-dusted orc goddesses strut their stuff for 90 minutes, everybody wins, right?
Their fans certainly do. The team is currently undefeated and on their way to the playoff stage. Although with how deadly the season is looking, Coach Misha may face serious squad depth issues the longer the season is going.
Ouch! Norse word order versus Brorers. All those demonic incursions for nothing the dwarves weren't scared at all. Don't you think?
The only one these Zinchites are scaring is the league statistician. The team has been nothing but underwhelming so far, having the worst defense and the second worst casualty rate in the league. Even a Norskin piglet wouldn't be scared of them.
The demons still use their tactic of tossing one of their spare players to disturb the enemy formations. Well, they don't win with this, but it's so nice to watch them doing this.
That they are natural entertainers. A shame followers of Zinch and Nurgle don't fancy each other. I think these pink horrors would be a great addition to the Carnival of Chaos.
The demons hire a Norse warrior Wolfhowl Blackscar, probably to trick the Vikings, but this also did not work out. Later, due to demonic shenanigans, the temperature drops below 0, everything freezes, and this also doesn't work. Is there any way to stop this Norse dwarves?
Yes, but it would involve not giving them everything that they want. Norse can get a bit carried away at times, focusing too much on chasing the opposition instead of keeping composure themselves. With a perfectly timed strike, it is possible to completely dismantle their position.
Well, sadly, it's the end of the line for the demons. Their last match will be against the Win 23 Halflings. That actually might be interesting. But now it's time for a question. What is happening with Liberus? After all those unlucky failures, they decide to stop playing. But is running from the curse rather than facing it is better?
Serves them right for destroying the Atholorin woods. You can run as long as you can, but you will never outrun the planet itself.
Sad news. Well, maybe not for everyone thanks to that Sore Riders got their first win.
A very needed one, too. Their chances of qualifying look bleak, and they would need to perform a miracle in their last game against a very solid Carrick Cracker Packers team.
How to comment on a match that didn't happen?
Even the game that didn't happen has implications. After all, teams are still getting points and competing for the playoff spots. Surely we at least have some rumors on why the game was not played.
We got only scraps of unconfirmed information that cheese grinders build some contraption on their stadium that makes the air elementals unable to enter.
A smart coach beats their opponent before even stepping on the field. Why risk the health of your own players when you can just avoid the confrontation altogether? and before the Federation begins any investigation, the tournament will be all but over.
Well said. Let's move on. Some schedule problems affect not only one team, but the Maulers versus Moonflowers also. And after some discussion, the Maulers decide to give win to Moonflowers to boost their chances of advance. Looking at the not-so-merciful history of their previous matches, it looks so nice. Maybe because it's upcoming holiday season?
Or maybe because the Moonflowers are playing Arume as their ultimate test. Guessing the Maulers aren't so merciful after all, if they prioritize petty revenge over their own tournament hopes. To which I say that it is rather ambitious to bet against an undefeated favorite.
Well, now it's time for the last match that actually also did not happen. The Win 23 versus Gnomish Ground Forces. The Gnomes receive a free win, and it looks like they will finally be able to afford another mech. Just in time, don't you think?
Yes, indeed. They need all the resources before the key game against Black Abyss Kraken Crew. The game will highly likely determine the playoff spot in Group B, and the Gnomes only need a draw to qualify. I don't recall many teams from this region to ever be so successful, so this might be our best chance to see a Gnome team in the Grand Arena.
Well, that round was quite interesting. Only 5 matches actually happened. Well, the holiday season really struck us hard.
Players are people too. Most of them, anyway.
Is there any particular player that you want to highlight? For me, it will be Hulk Pogan, just because you don't often see an Ulforner that scores a touchdown. Usually they do eat the ball.
The whole Norse World Order squad is pretty amazing. Randy Garbage scored a whopping 6 touchdowns, more than half of the teams out there. While some other teams have players that stand out, like Freya of the Savage Warmen and Jacob Neal from Cracker Packers, the Norse Dwarves have a complete package of stars.
We are getting close into the playoff stage. What teams are you expecting to see there, and which one you want to face?
It sounds like a year of the Dwarf, with NWO and Packers already in, and looking pretty solid to win it all. Savage Warmen and my own Athel-Lauren Arume will likely be their fiercest opposition, so these 4 would be the picks for my ideal semi-finals. As for my quarter-final opponent, I would love to play either the Gnomes or the Pirates, whoever wins their game.
Thanks again for visiting us, and good luck in your upcoming mirror match.
Thank you, and let the best Naiads win.
That will be all, folks. Stay warm, stay bloody. Henry Snotson out!